Hi everyone, how are you guys? I hope and pray you all are fine and enjoying your life along with your studies. I welcome you all and thank you guys for visiting my channel and watching this video. This really pays off all my individual efforts that I'm putting in, and this really boosts me to sustain my pace. Really. So yeah, keep learning fellows. I assume you have gone through lesson 1 of this chapter before moving on. So in today's session, we will resume chapter 1, which is numbers, actually which are numbers. Bear with me, bear with my English. I am not a native speaker, so pardon me if I make any grammatical errors. But you know the best thing, actually not the best, but the good thing is you will be having a gift of getting these lectures and videos with an internationally recognized language, Hannah. Anyways, let's stick to our content. So basically, we will be covering 6 concepts from 7 till 12 of chapter 1 in our today's session. Shall we start? Thank you very much. Get set, ready, and let's begin. So topic number 7 is greater than or less than. We are going to start it from here. Okay, how we are going to represent the symbols of that, what is a symbol of a less than and what is a symbol of a greater than. So here you can see on your screen. So this is a sign of a less than. Okay, so many of us used to get confused about these symbols and make so many confusion in writing them. So here is a little trick of remembering these symbols. So can you see here the alligator, the crocodile? So its mouth is open on the right side. See, this is your right side, this is the right side, and this is your left side. Okay. So when a alligator opens his mouth towards the right side, that is a less than sign. And when an alligator opens its mouth on the left side, it means that sign is basically a greater than sign, right? I'll give you another easy way of remembering these symbols. Okay, hint to remember. See, here is another hint, which is alligator always eat big things or a big numbers. So this is a very easy trick of remembering the symbolic representations of greater than and less than signs. Right here we are going to do certain examples that will make your concept clear. Okay, so example 1, 10, and then we have a box and an empty box. In this empty box we have to fill in the sign less than or greater than. So you're already familiar with the numbers, that which number is bigger and which number is smaller, or which numbers comes after which number, right? So 10, so in between 10 and 7, which is the bigger number? Yes, obviously 10 is the bigger number than 7 and 7 is the smaller number. So 10 is bigger than 7, right? Am I right? Yes. Now how we are going to represent it? So that is simply, uh, so remember the hint, it says alligator or a crocodile always eat big numbers or big animals, right? Keep this hint in your mind. So this is the 10, which is a big number or big animals. So alligator is going to eat big numbers or big animals, right? So the face of this alligator is towards 10. So what sign we are going to write it here? So see, it is making a sign this way. So we are going to write a sign this way. So this is a greater than sign, right? I hope now you will not make any mistakes or will not get confused in these two signs, right? Which are very close to each other, and it is obvious that if you're not having a certain hint, you'll definitely get confused and make upside down these symbols. Okay, so 10 is greater than 7. 10 is greater than 7. Next, 33. So 33 is a bigger number or 31 is a bigger number? 33 is a bigger number. So alligator is going to eat big numbers. So if I put this alligator here, this alligator is eating a smaller number, which is wrong, right? So alligator is eating a big number. So the sign should be here is this one, greater than, right? Okay, moving on to the next, which is comparing numbers. Now we are going to compare numbers, which number is a smaller number and which number is a bigger number. So we have already done these numbers in very detail in our first lecture, first lesson. Okay, you can go there and look at that tutorial. That will help you a lot. So 101 is a bigger number. So we are going to put which sign? So alligator always eat big numbers. Open his mouth towards the big numbers. So this sign. 264 and 246. Which number is a bigger number? Okay, here I am giving you another hint to solve this question. Let's suppose we are not familiar with the very big numbers. We have only learned numbers up till 100 and we know nothing about numbers that are greater than 100. Then how we are going to solve this question? So look here, always start it with the numbers on your extreme left. So see, if you focus here, so this is 2, this is 2. Both are same, 2, 2, both are equal numbers. Then move on to the next, which is 6. This is 6 and this is 4. So which number is a bigger number, 6 or 4? 6, definitely. Since 6 is bigger than 4, so there is no need to compare the third digit. We already found out our answer that 6 is greater than 4. So we can conclude this thing 264 is bigger than 246. So crocodile always eats bigger numbers, right? So crocodile open his mouth towards the bigger number, right? Next, 71 and 71. Oh, wow. So both over here, both numbers are equal. So what is the sign that we will put here to represent that these numbers are equal? So the sign for equality or equal is this one. So draw two parallel lines, right? Not too long, not too short, right? So this is a sign of inequality. So 71 is equal to 71. Okay. So moving on to the next number, which is 313 and 310. 10. Okay, you can also pronounce it on your own, right? And then you can compare the pronunciation of these numbers with my pronunciation, and you can also learn it this way. So this is 313, this is 310. So again, use the same strategy. This is 3, this is 3. For instance, we assume that we don't know that this is a very big number and we cannot solve it. So now what should we do? We have only learned numbers up till 100. So here is a trick. This is 3, this is 3. Both are equal. Okay, skip it. Move on to next. This is 1, this is 1. Remember, always start it from the extreme right, left side, right? This is left side, this is right side. Okay. So this is one middle digit and over here the middle digit is also 1. Again same. Okay, move on to the third digit. This is 3 and this is 0. So 3 is bigger than 0 or 3 is smaller than 0. So you should be familiar with this thing at this stage, right? Because we are doing our lesson 2. So 3 is bigger than 0. So we conclude this thing 313 is greater or bigger than 310. So alligator always open his mouth towards the bigger numbers, right? So 313 greater than 310. So if many of you students already know how to solve this question at once by looking at the digit 313. So you assume that this is so easy. Why you're taking so long in explaining this thing? So this is especially for the students who are not familiar in recognizing the numbers, right? You can skip it if you want. Okay. So moving on to the next question, which is 432, and this is something very big number in thousands. So remember, this is unit, this is tens. We have done a place value. Remember, so we are going to utilize all the concepts we have learned in the lesson 1 over here, right? That's why I recommend you to go back to review the lesson 1 before moving on to this video. If you already know, well and good. Okay, so this is unit, this is 10, this is 100, this is 1000. So these numbers are in thousands and these numbers are in hundreds. Now here is one more thing. Since we are applying the strategy in which we are looking on the extreme left number, right? Just like I can say, for instance, this is 4 and this is 3. So I can directly conclude this thing that this number 432 is bigger than 3210. So don't make such a mistake. Over here, this situation is the number of digits are different. In this case, we are having a 3 digits. In this case, we are having a 3 digits. And in this case, we are having a 4 number of digits, right? So that's why now what we are going to do in this case. So this is 4. So we have to complete the number of digits. So over here we have 4 digits, so we have to complete 4 digits as well over here. So this is started from the unit side, 1 2 3, and if there is no digit here you can put 0 here, right? Now you can start comparing. So this is 0 and this is 3. By comparing the first digit, we came to know and we make a conclusion that 0 is less or smaller than 3. So ultimately 432 is less than 3210. Now how we are going to represent it? With a symbol. So remember, alligator always open its mouth towards the bigger numbers, bigger animals. So this is the alligator. He open his mouth towards the bigger number. So this is a mouth, right? I hope you got the concept. So let's move on to the next, which okay, over here we are having a special case. Okay, over here numbers are basically identical with switching the number of zeros. Okay, we'll discuss one by one in detail. So over here we are having a 50 and this is a number 5. So if you already know which number is bigger and which is smaller, go ahead. So 50 and 5. So we already familiar with numbers from 0 or 1 to 100. So you should know about this thing. So 50 is a bigger number, 5 is a smaller number. So alligator always eats bigger numbers. Open his mouth towards the bigger numbers. So 50 and over here we have 0, 5. Now don't get confused with these two numbers. Again, you can do it the same way. Start comparing it with the digits on the extreme left side. And over here we are having 5, over here we are having 0. So which number is bigger? This 5 is bigger and this 0 is smaller, right? So we can say that 50 is bigger than 5. Okay, one more thing I would like to share with you guys, that whenever there is a 0 before a digit, before a non-zero digit, whenever there is a 0, so its worth is nothing. So from here we conclude this thing that 0 is basically equal. If we write 5, so we can, this is 0, 5. Okay, let me write it 0, 5. So this 0, 5 is basically equal to 5. Or if I write 0, 0, 5, this is also equal to 5. If I write 0, 0, 0, 5, this is also equal to 5. So there is no worth of these numbers if they are before the non-zero digit. But when this 0 will be shifting it towards the right side, now it no longer be a 5, it will become a 50. Now it is, we cannot say that this 50 is equal to 5. It is not equal to 5, right? So basically this 05 is number 5. Same here. So 50 is bigger or smaller than 005. So 005 means this 00 has no worth. So they're just here to confuse you, right? So 50 is a bigger number or 50 is a smaller number than 5. Obviously bigger number. Yes. So alligator move open its mouth towards a bigger number. Is this right? Excellent. No, it is not a right. Good. You made my mistake and you fixed it. Excellent. So 50 is bigger than 5. So alligator open its mouth towards the bigger number. Next, 50 over here and the next digit, comparable digit is also 50. So both are equal. And what is the sign we use for equality? Remember, we have just studied few minutes before. Yes, two parallel lines, not too long, not too short. See, this is equality sign. So 50 is equal to 50. The next question is 50 and is this a less than or greater than or equal to 500? So see, number of digits over here are 2. Over here, in this case, they are 3. So from here we can make a conclusion that this number is smaller. Okay, if not so, we'll do it another way. So start comparing it with the first digit. This is 5, this is 5. Equal, equal. Okay, move on to the next digit. 0 and 0. Equal, equal. Move on to the next digit. So over here we have another digit which is 0. And over here we have nothing. Nothing. We cannot put 0 here. Okay. So 50 is smaller than 500. So 50 is smaller. So alligator open its mouth always towards the bigger numbers. So this is how we represent a less than sign. I hope you got the concept. Okay, if you have still any question or if you have still any confusion, you can ask me a question in the comment box, or you can review this portion of the video again, right? Okay, moving on to the next question, which is circle the correct answer. Now, if you already got the concept 100%, I highly recommend you to pause the video, solve these 4 questions, and then play it and then compare your answers with me. Okay, I'm going to start it now. So 9 is greater than which number? So question is circle the correct answers. We have to circle it. So 9 is bigger than 10? No. 9 is bigger than 4? Yes. So we always, since remember the clue that alligator always open his mouth towards the bigger number. So 9 is a bigger number. We have to choose all those numbers that are smaller than 9. So 4 is smaller? Yes, go for it. 13 is smaller than 9? No, 13 is bigger. We cannot do it. Similarly, 0 is bigger than 9? No, 0 is smaller than 9. Or 9 is greater than 4? 9 is greater than 0, right? 9 is not greater than 10. So we did not choose 10. And 9 is not greater than 13. 13 is a bigger number. Okay, so let me solve these 3 questions quickly. 4 is less than which number? So over here the numbers should be bigger since alligator opened his mouth towards the bigger numbers. Now we have to select the numbers that are greater than 4. So this 6 is a bigger number, 1 is not a bigger number, 4 is basically equal to 4, this is equality sign, and 7 is a bigger number. So 4 is less than 6, 4 is less than 7, 4 is not less than 1, and 4 is not less than 4. Okay, moving on to the third question, which is dash this box. We have to fill in with these options. Is less than 19. So alligator already opened his mouth towards the bigger numbers, bigger animals. So he skipped all the smaller animals or smaller numbers left behind. So we have to see what those smaller numbers are. Okay, so 30 is a bigger number than 19. Nah. 11 is a bigger number than 19. 11 is a smaller number. Yes, 11 is less than 19. 30 is not less than 90. 20 is less than 90. No. 43 is less than 90. No. Okay, next. So here over here we are having just one right option. Moving on to the fourth question. So 70, let's solve it quickly. 70 is greater than 50. 50 is basically equal to 50. So we leave it. And 05, remember 05 means this is 5. So 5 is greater than 50? No. 60 is greater than 50? Yes. Because over here you can see this is 5 and this is 6. So 6 is a bigger number. 60 is greater than 50. So here we are done with this concept, with this topic, which was number 8. Now we are moving on to the next topic, which is number line. Okay. Here we have certain numbers on a number line that already filled inside these boxes, and a few of these boxes are empty. We have to fill in those boxes with the numbers. So if you are not sure, look over here. The number is 6. What number should be in the second box? It can be a 7, it can be a 5, you're not sure. So there must be a pattern in the question that will give you a hint what number should comes in those empty boxes. So the pattern over here is, look at these two consecutive numbers, 8 and 9. So this is directly jump up to 9. So there is a jump of just one digit, right? If you add 1 in 8, you'll get 9, right? So what numbers comes before 8, or what numbers comes after 6? So that is a 7. So after 6 we will be having a 7, after 7 we will be having a 8, or before 8 we will be having a 7, and before 7 there is a 6, right? So on a similar pattern you have to fill in all those empty spaces. So 9, after 9 this is 10. Remember your counting skills. Then after 10 we are having in this empty box 11. Excellent. So we are done with the question 1. Moving on to the second question. So now again we are not sure what number should we start with. So there must be a pattern or a hint in the question given to us that will lead us to fill in those empty spaces and complete our question. So this is 2 and this is 4. So if you look at the pattern, this question is making basically a skip of 2, right? So this is 2. Now we, after 2 there is a 3, we have to skip 3, and after that there is a 4. So we have to make 2 jumps. After 2 there is a 3, and after 3 there is a 4, right? So it is a skipping of 2. So what numbers before 2 we have to skip it, and what numbers whatever comes here we have also have to skip this one and move before one digit. So that would be, so the number 2, before number 2 there is 1, we have to skip 1, and before 1 there is a 0, so we have to write 0 here. Similarly after 4 there is a 5, we have to skip it, and then we have 6, right? So if you get the concept you can directly jump up to the direct answer. So after 6 there is a 8. So in this question they are using a pattern of skipping 2. So after 8, 9, and then 10, 11, and then 12, right? Skip 1, write 1. Okay, moving on to the next question. So here we have two different hints to follow the pattern, which is 18. The first one is 18 and 21. So how you get 21 from this 18? Start counting after 18. 19, 20, and 21. So we have to jump up 3 digits, right? Okay, so 21, after 21, so we have to jump up 3 digits. So I'm going to draw 3 dots. So 22, 23, and 24. So the next digit over here is 24. Or simply add 3 in 21, you'll get the next digit. If you're not familiar with the addition, you can using this method using a dots to come up with your right answer. If you already know how to add numbers, some numbers, you can directly using that addition concept in these questions. So after 27 there is 30. After 30 add 3 digits, 31, 32, and landing on third digit, which is 33. And then we have 34, 35, skip 2 digits, landing on the third digit, which is 36, right? Okay, moving on to the next two questions. Okay, make a habit. It is not necessary that I should mention every time to pause a video to solve the questions on your own and then compare your answers with me. Sometimes I also forget to mention this thing. So always make a habit to, if you already learned the concept, and whenever there are certain questions, practice questions along the way, abruptly or suddenly pause the video and start solving those questions, right? So this will actually help you a lot in learning, right? Definitely you will make mistakes, and from your mistakes then you will get to know how to fix those mistakes, and in your real exams you will not be making mistakes anymore, right? Okay, the next pattern is 30 and 36. So if you look at the pattern, there is a jump of 6 digits. So what number I should add in 30 so that I will get 36? So add 6, right? Or you can use dots. So start counting after 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and landing on 36. So how many dots? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So after 36, let's finish this sequence. After 36, then we'll move on to backwards. So start counting 6 digits, 6 dots, landing on the 6th dot. So after 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, or you can also first draw the dots. That will help you, and then you start counting digits after 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, landing on 6. Now 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, and 42. Right? And then if you add 6 dots, landing on the 6th dot over here, you'll come up with this digit, which is 48. So you can also verify your answer whether this 42 is right or not by comparing it with the next neighborhood digit, right? So let me solve the next digit directly, so it will give you 54. Okay, you can also solve it directly if you know the concept. If not, then after solving it you should recheck it, verify it whether this is right or not. Okay, now we have to move backwards. So start counting digits, 6 digit, landing on the 6th digit. So we have to draw 5 more dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the 6th one. Now counting backwards. So 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, and 24. Or simply what you have to do is take away 6 from this 30, you'll reach up to this digit, right? Now take away 6 from this 24, you'll come on to this digit, so it will give you 18, right? Okay, moving on to the next question. So let's solve it quickly. So this is 0 and 7. So this is a hint given to us in order to solve this question. So there is a pattern of adding 7 digits, and on the 7th dot we have to land, or we have to enter the digit, right? So after 7 it will be 8. So let first count the digits. So 7 digits: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, right? So if you keep on adding 7 dots, you'll land on this digit, which is 21. Add 7 more dots in it, you'll land on the digit, which is 28, right? Now on the similar pattern, move backwards. So now we are solving this question quickly just because I explained you the concept in detail. So just to save time, I'm solving it directly, so you can compare your answers likewise. So over here, see, this is 0. So up till now we have studied the numbers that are starting with 0 and start moving onwards to the positive digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, 40, 50, 100, so on. So these all are the positive numbers. Now here is the thing which is negative numbers. So how we are going to solve the negative numbers? So see, so if this is a 0, on the right side there are positive numbers, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And on the left side there are negative numbers, right? So this is positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, and so on. And then here we have 0, and on the left side of 0 we are getting the negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and so on, right? Now the pattern in this question we are following is the skippings of 7. So over here this is 0. If we move backwards, so we will be landing on, so we have to take away, right? Or you can simply not add, actually you have to take away 7 from this 0. You land on digit which is negative 7. Then you will be okay. Over here this is a typing mistake in the question. Let me correct it. This is not 28, actually this is not minus 2, this is minus 21. Okay, only in that case you will be getting your question right. So this is mistake in the question. Okay, if we move back again 7 dots, we will be landing on the digit negative 14. So again take away 7, you will be landing on the digit negative 21. So you can verify it. So simply draw the 7 dots. So let's draw it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is 14. So this is minus 15, minus 16, minus 17, minus 18, minus 19, minus 20, and minus 21. Right? Okay. So for so good. Right. Let's move on to the next thing, which is draw a number line from 6 to 16 with an increment of 2. Understand the question very carefully. Once you know the thing, when you understand the question very carefully, read it carefully and understand it. Once you understood it correctly, carefully, it means you have already done the 50% of its solution. The remaining 50% is to just write it down on a piece of paper. So this is very important to understand the question. So what they said, draw a number line from 6 to 16. So it means we have to start it from this digit and we have to end it at this digit, which is 16, with an increment. So there is a condition that we have to apply. So we have to increase the digit, every digit by 2, every next digit by 2. So let's begin. So starting the number from 6. So this is 6. By default we always start a number by 0, right? So if there is a condition mentioned in the question, then we are bound to use that condition. So we have to start it from 6. So here is 6. Now with an increment of 2. So if you add 2 or put 2 dots, so after 6 there is 7, and after 7 there is 8. So we have to land on the second dot, since there is a skipping of 2. So what number we are landed on? 8, right? And then again skip 1 and landed on the second dot. What number we are landed on? 10. And then on a similar pattern, 12. Then 13 and 14. After that 15 and 16. So see, our last digit over here is 16. So we successfully completed our question, right? Okay, moving on to the next question, which is draw a number line from 30 to 40. So our starting point is 30. So draw 30 here. and 240. So last digit is 40. Okay, with two equal intervals. Okay, in the previous question, the intervals are not equal, right? They are not scaled to equal. They are not equally distance, right? So I've just drawn it randomly. But in this case, they have said you have to draw. It is good if you draw the intervals equally. That will be more good representation of solving the question, right? But if you are doing it without scale, then it's also good. Like it's okay. Your question cannot be considered incorrect, right? Okay, but in this case, they have said that you have to draw with two equal intervals. Now we have to cut this line from 30 to 40 into two equal parts. So I assume that this not up to the scale, but I use my expert opinion and consider this as a midpoint, that this line has been divided into two equal parts, right? So we have to divide this 30 to 40 with two equal intervals. So now we have successfully drawn two equal intervals, right? Now what number should we write here? So if you see that there are how many digits from 30 to 40, so start counting after 30. So you'll came to know how many digits there are. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. So now count the dots. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in total there are 10 dots from 30 to 40, not including the 30 after 30, okay? Because this is a starting point, we cannot include the starting point. So we have to divide it into two equal intervals. So simply we have to divide it by 2. So if you know the division, well and good. If not, there is need not to worry about this. We'll cover this in our later chapters. There is a whole complete, we'll study it in a separate different chapter, right? So 10, half of 10 is 5. 10 divided by 2 is 5, right? Okay, now, so in this case, my starting point is 30. So add 5 in 30. So what number you'll came to know? So now we have to take how many dots? We have to take 5 dots. So this is start counting after 30 and we have to consider add these 5 dots. So 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35. Right? The only reason I am giving you these concepts in so very much depth, considering this that you are a very basic learner and you are learning the mathematics from the very beginning, right? That's why if you already know the concepts, so you can definitely skip and move on to the next portion of work you'd like to watch. I hope you got the concept. Okay. Next is answer the following questions. So in this case, let's do it. So the number line is already given to us for our reference to solve these questions. First question is 3 units to the right of 5. So where is our number 5? So this is our number 5. So we have to move 3 units to the right. So this is our right side and this is our left side, right? So we have to move 3 units to the right side. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So the number we are landed on is 8, right? Got it? Okay, moving on to the next question. So 6 units to the left of 2. Okay, let me change the color. Let's say it's blue. So 6 units to the left of 2. So we have to start it from 2. So this is our 2. And we have to move 6 units to the left side. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the number we are landed on is -4. right? Okay, next question. Okay, the next question, it says 1 unit to the right of -10. So this is our -10, and okay, let me just, that's so much bright. So this is our -10, and we have to move 1 unit to the right. So this is, we have to move this way. This is right side, right? So just move 1 digit to the right side. So we are landed on digit -9. So this is our answer. And moving on to our last question, which is 7 units to the left of 7. So this is our 7. So we have to move 7 units to the left side of the 7, right? So let's start moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So the number we are landed on is 0. So yes, 0. Right? This is how you solve the questions on a number line. Okay, now how we are going to add numbers on a number line. So this is pretty easy. Now you're familiar with the basics of a number line. You can directly solve this question in just no time. So here is the first question. -9 plus 4 will give you what number? So we have to start it with the first digit, which is -9. Where is a -9? So this is a -9, and we have to add 4. See, so this is a add sign. So it means we have to move towards the right side. And if there is a negative sign, it means we have to move towards the left side. So focus. So the first digit represents that from where you have to start with, right? So we have to start our journey with -9, and we have to jump 4 units, and this positive sign will tell us we have to jump either in right direction or left direction, right? So this direction is very important. So we know that we have to move 4 units, but where? Left side or right side? Okay, so we have to move right side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we successfully landed on a number digit which is -5. So this is your answer. Next, 3 plus -7. Okay, now how we are going to solve this question? This is a very important question. I want you to pay attention. So this is number 3. So we start our journey with the digit 3. Now here we have to add. We are going to add. It means we have to move towards the right. But there is also a -7, right? -7. Which, and it says we have to move left. So there is a great confusion, big confusion. Now what should we do? Go right or left? Or just stay there? So just keep one thing in mind whenever the signs are coming together, opposite signs are coming together, and they are times it with each other, plus and minus. They always gives you a negative sign. Okay? Opposites, positive and negative, they both are opposite signs. So whenever they are times with each other, they'll give you a negative sign. So now this sign will tell us where to go. Now there is no confusion. Okay? So we have to move towards the left side. How many units we have to jump? 7 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. My jumps are not so good. So the number we are landed on -4. This is our answer, right? Next is number line subtraction. You can practice plenty of more questions from many other sources from the internet. So I'm just giving you the basic concepts of these topics, right? Okay, next, number line subtraction. So the number we are going to start it with 7. So this is 7, and we have to jump 5 units. Now jump where? Left or right? So this sign will tell us left or right. So this is negative. So negative sign will all it means we have to move towards left side. Okay. So we have to jump 5 units towards the left in the left direction. 3, 4, and 5. So 7 take away 5 is 2. Right? Okay, next is 3 take away 6. Starting point is 3. So this is our 3. And we have to jump 6 units. Right or left? So we have to jump left 6 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we landed on a digit which is -3. So this is our answer. Next is 3, negative 6. So this negative will tell us we have to move left. This negative will also tell us that we have to move left. There is no confusion. Why they are saying that you have to go left twice? How can we go twice on the same direction? So again, just like a question number 2, right? In adding, when the opposite signs are multiplying with each other, you will get negative. So over here, whenever the same signs, either plus plus or minus minus, they always end up with the positive sign. So they are just distracting us, right? They want us to solve the question wrong, but we do not have to solve the question wrong. Okay, so negative is plus, so this plus tells us we have to go right, not on the left side. No matter how, if you are saying us to go left twice, we are not listening you. So negative is positive, plus. So starting it with 3, and we have to jump 6 units and towards the right side. Yes, so I'm directly jump up 6 digits towards the right, and I'm landing on this digit which is 9. Yes, congratulations. So this is 9. Okay, next, -3 and -6. This is pretty easy. Starting it with -3, jump 6 units, and negative sign tells you that you have to move left. So you will be landed on the -9. Okay, here comes to an end of this topic. The next very concept is ascending and descending order. Write numbers in ascending order. So now what is the ascending order? Ascending order means increasing order, right? So we have to write the numbers in an increasing order, which means we have to start it from the smaller numbers and we have to keep on moving towards the bigger numbers. So now what is the smallest number in this pattern or in this sequence of numbers? So the smallest number is 7. So we are going to write 7 here. We are done with 7, cross it or underline it so that you came to know that this number has already been included in our list of answers. The next, the number bigger than 7 is, okay, now see, all the numbers are bigger than 7, but we have to look for the immediate bigger number, right? That is close to 7. So 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you see 10 is also bigger than 7 and 13 is also bigger than 7, but the number 10 comes closer to 7, right? If you jump 3 units you'll get 10, but if you jump 6 units you'll get 13 sequentially, right? So we have to look for the number that is bigger but that also comes close to 7. The next digit is 10. After 10, the next digit which is greater than 10 and close to 10, this is among these three numbers, which is 13. So we have to write 13. After that, which number is greater than 13? Even both these numbers are greater, but which numbers comes next? Either 31 comes first or 47 comes first. So 31 comes first. So write 31, and at last we will be having a 47. So we have complete this sequence, right? This is how you solve the numbers and write the numbers in an ascending or increasing order. The next question is this one, which is 313, 131, 331, 133, 333, 111. So this is so much confusing numbers. 3, 3 and 1, 1, 1, 3. They are repeating, so we have to be very careful. So which number is the smallest number? So start it with the extreme left digit. So this is 3, this is big, this is 1, this is small, and now select. So between 1 and 3, 1 is a smaller number, right? So we have to start it with 1. So in this sequence we will be having how many digits starting with 1? So this is also 1 and this is also 1. So now look at the second two digits. So this is 31, or you can look individually, it's up to you. So I'm solving them together collectively. So this is 31, this is 33, and this is 11. So what is the smallest number? 11 is the smallest number, so we write 111. So we are done with this. Then we have 31 is a smaller number, or 33? So 31, so we write 131. Okay, take it. So we put a tick mark. This number is done. The next is 133. Okay, now we are left with three more digits, which are starting it with 300s. So this is 3, this is 3. Let me change the color. So this is 3, this is 3, and this is 3. So now look at the next two digits. This is 13, this is 31, and this is 33. So 13 is the smallest number, so we should write it first. It is smallest, but it is bigger or greater than 133, right? The next digit is 31 or 33. Which one is smaller? 31. So we write 331 is smaller than 333. And finally, we will be having the last digit, which is 333. Okay, it is sometimes very difficult to write with the help of a mouse on an electronic pad or things like this. Okay, anyways, you can understand what's written here. Then the digits, the numbers, right? 3, this looks like a 3. You cannot pronounce it a 7 or a 4 or a 10. Okay. The next, write numbers in descending order. So descending means what? Descending means we have to write the numbers in a decreasing order, right? Start it with the biggest number and gradually moving on to the smaller numbers, and end our question with a smallest number, right? So now what is the biggest number? So there are four numbers. Three of them are starting it with 7 and one is with 3. So 3 is smaller, so it means we cannot start it with 307. So now we have to look among these three numbers starting it with 7s. But again, if you focus here, we have over here we have 4 digits in the first number, then we have 3 digits in the second number, right? So you can also put here 0 basically in order to complete the number of digits in each number, and you can also put 0 here. Right now they all are same. Okay, so even we cannot compare this number. This is out of our list and this is out of our list, so we have to choose in between first and last. Or you can simply say this first digit is in thousands, second is in hundreds, so 1000 is bigger, right? So this is 70, this is 70, both are equal. Now we have to compare the next two digits. Horse. 3 is also same. 3 is also same. The last digit is 4, and over here is 1. So 4 is bigger number. So this number should be written first. 7,300, 7,034. Okay. Next digit is second digit, smaller digit is 7,031. Now we have to compare the left digits which are 2. Now this digit is starting it with 7 and this digit is starting it with 3. So which is a bigger number? 700. So write 700. There is no need to write 0 before non-zero digit. It's worth nothing. Okay. So this is just for the comparison in case you forget counting the number of digits. If you are not familiar with the hundreds and thousands. Okay. The next digit, the last digit is 304. So we have successfully solved the question in a decreasing order of writing these numbers. Okay, okay, now solve the question on your own and then play it back to see to match the answers. So I'm solving it directly. So the biggest number is 321. Write it. So after 321, there is any other 300? No, there is 200, yes, but we have two 200s. So this comes first because 31 is bigger than 13. Then we have this 213. After that, from these two numbers, we have 123. And at last, we are having 121. So we are good to go. Yes, so here comes to an end of our previous topic. Now moving on to the next concept, which is even odd numbers. Now what are the even numbers? There are so many different hints or clues with the help of which you can remember the difference between the even numbers and the odd numbers. Here you can look on your screen. The first very hint is even numbers are numbers that are divisible by 2. Now what does it mean? It means that number is divided by 2 and you will be getting completely divided by 2 and you will be getting a remainder 0, right? So if you already know with the basics of division, so let's take an example. For example, 6. So now we have to see whether this is an even number or not. So simply divide it by 2. So we are going to divide it by 2. Now start counting the times table of 2 up till 6 or less than 6. So 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 2 is 6. So 3 times 2 will give you 6. Take away and you will be getting a remainder 0. So the bottom value is always called your remainder, right? This is your R. See, so we are getting a remainder 0. So from here we conclude that 6 is an even number, right? So if you are not familiar with this division thingy, don't worry, we will be getting this concept in detail in our later videos with a separate chapter. Okay, so even numbers are the numbers that are divisible by 2 having a remainder 0. Or the third clue for the students who do not familiar with this division, what exactly division is and how it really works. So this third hint is for the very beginners, right? Who do not know division. So it says numbers end with 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8. Now you can tell me any number. For example, we'll write 28. So now look here, the number ends over here is 8. This number 28 ends with 8. So 8 comes in this list, so we can directly say that this whole 28 number is an even number, right? Let's take another example, 34. So now no matter your this digit, you have to ignore this digit, don't pay attention on this digit. Look on the ones place, look at the ones place. So at this place the digit ends with 4 and 4 comes in this list, right? So we can say that collectively 34 is an even number, right? Let's say any other example, which is 67. So now look at the ones place. The number ends with 7. 7 comes in this list, in this sequence. No. So we say that this number 67 is not an even number. Okay, what the concept? Okay, moving on to the next, which is odd numbers. Now, what are the odd numbers? The same strategy for the first two hints and clues, or for the students who are familiar with the division portion, and the third one who are totally unfamiliar with how to solve the division, right? Okay, let's take an example. Let's suppose we are having a number 25, and we have to check whether this is an even number or an odd number. Okay, so for the conditions for the even number, they are not divisible by 2. But for instance, let's say we are going to divide it and see what happens at the end. We are getting at the remainder. Either it's 0 or not, right? So this is 1 times 2 is 2, and we have to take away, so 2 take away 2 will give us 0. Now shift the next digit as it is down, which is 5. Now start counting the times table of 2 up till 5, or less than 5 or close to 5. So 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 2 is 6. Now 6 is a bigger number. We are not allowed to reach on the number 6, so we'll stick to the number 5, or close or less to 5. So 2 times 2 is 4. Now take away these numbers. So 5 take away 4 is 1. So see, we are getting a remainder which is 1, which is not a 0, a non-zero remainder. So from here we conclude that 25 is an odd number, right? Okay. Okay, now coming on to the third hint for the very beginners. So you can say, you can write any number, or you can think of any number. Let's suppose I'm going to think on a number which is 19. So the last digit ends up with any of these sequence. Yes, there is 9, and there at the last digit, the digit at the unit place is also 9. So yes, 19 is an odd number. Okay, let's say 23. Now in this case, 2 is an even number, right? But our focus is on the digit at the unit place. 3. 3 comes in this list. Yes, so 23 is an odd number, right? You can think of any number. Let's say we are having a number 100. So look at the digit at the unit place. 0. 0 is in the list? No, right? So we can say that 100 is not an odd number, right? 100 is an even number because 0 comes in the list of, in the category of even numbers, right? I hope you got the concept about the identification of these numbers. If there is any number in front of you and someone asks you, tell me this is an even or odd, so you can directly recall this list, this sequence of numbers, that will help you in identifying what exactly a number is, whether it lies in the category of odd numbers or even numbers. So far so good. Okay, let's move on to the next portion of the same concept, which is we have to fill in with even, or let me extend it, odd. Okay, so we have to fill in these questions either with, we have to identify whether this number is an even number or an odd number. So now I am pretty sure that would be a very easy activity for you to solve. So let's begin. So first number digit is 3. So is this even or odd? So it ends with 3. So yes, it is an odd number. Keep in mind those sequence of numbers that lies in each category of either odd or even. So it's 26. Forget about the 2. Focus on the digit 6, the digit at the unit place. So 6 is an even number, or 6 lies in the category of even numbers. So yes, it is an even number, right? Okay. Next, 109. So 9, focus on the 9. So 9, that lies in the category of an odd. So 109 is an even odd number. Similarly 394. So now if you look at this number, 3 is odd, 9 is odd, but this is not our concern. Our concern and focus is the digit at the unit place. So this is 4. So 394 collectively is an even number. Similarly, the next number, which is 7,891. Now see, you can even be able to understand and solve the numbers that are in thousands, or even in hundred thousands, 10,000s, in millions, right? Just by following the one very easy clue, right? So this number is odd. Last digit is 1. Lies or falls in the category of odd numbers sequence. So this is an odd number. And over here, this is again our odd number. So we are done. Now you're perfect in identifying even and odd numbers, right? Excellent. Okay, next. Are you tired? Even why I'm asking this question, because I am also tired. But stay with me. This is our last concept of this lesson 2, and after that we are good to go and we can enjoy and we can do whatever we want. Whatever you want. Okay, you can play games or you can relax. But stay with me for a few more minutes. We are at the ending portion of our today's session. So the next is prime and composite numbers. So now what are the prime numbers and what are the composite numbers? So prime numbers are the numbers that have two factors. It means, what does it means? It means that any number, that particular number is dividing on only two numbers. There are two unique numbers and there is no other number that can be divisible on that number, right? We'll take an example to make this concept clear. So prime numbers are the numbers that have two factors. What are those two numbers? The number 1, there should always be a number 1 and the number itself, right? For example, we'll take an example. Let's say number 2, or okay, two factors, let's take other than 2, 3, so that we are not getting confused with this 2 and the number 2. So we'll start it with 3. So this number 3 can be divided in what numbers, right? Or let's do it this way. So what two numbers, if you multiply them together, you will get 3. So let's do it this way. If division is hard for you. So 1 times 3 is 3. Am I right? So this is number 1. So see, number 1 is always a factor or a divisor or a multiple. So 1 times 3 is 3. What any other two numbers, if I multiply together, I will get 3. So that is 3, which is basically the number itself, right? 3 times 1. So basically it's the same thing. Only the difference is we are switching the numbers. But see, in the first case we have taken the 1, in the second case we have multiplying with 3. So 1 times 3 will give you 3 and 3 times 1 will give you 3. So what two numbers are the factors? The number 1 and the number itself. If you're taking number 3, so the number itself would become 3. If you're taking number 2 or number 5, let's do an example of number 5. So what two numbers, if you multiply them together, you'll get 5. So 1 times 5 is 5. Number 1, you can see here. And 5 times 1 is 5. And the number itself. So see, the question is having a number 5 and the number itself is also a factor, right? Okay, so if now, or prime numbers have only two divisors, so two factors or two divisor, or the two numbers, if you multiply them together you will get that number. Let's take any other example. So 3 is a prime number, Yes, and 5 is a prime number. Why? Can you tell me any other than 1 and 5? Any other digits, if you multiply them together, you'll get 5. No, yes, exactly. So that is why 5 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number. Similarly, 2 is also a prime number. Okay, let's take any other example. Let's say we'll take 6. Okay, now what two numbers if you multiply, you'll get 6. 1 times 6 is 6, right? Then 2. If you look at the times table of 2, if you in 2 times tables you will get 6. How many times? 3 times. So 2 times 3 will give you 6. Similarly, so this is also a factor or a divisor. Now if we look at the 3 times table, so 3 times what number will give you 6? Is there any number? Yes, 2. Basically we switch it. But in this case we are following the 2 times table, in this case we are following the 3 times table, and so on. 4 on the times table of 4, will you get 6? No. 5 times table, will you get 6? No. 6 times table, yes. In the 6 times table, 6 times 1 will give me 6. Now see, there are how many different factors we will be having? 1, 2, 3 and 6. So they are more than 2, right? We already have number 1, we already have number itself, which is 6, but besides these two we are having other factors as well. So whenever we have a case in which we are having 1 and 6, and besides that we are having other, it can be a one or multiple factors, so in that case we can say that 6 is not a prime number. So 6 is not a prime number. Let me just type it, right? So then what 6 is? So 6 is basically your composite number. Now we'll discuss it here. Now what exactly are composite numbers? So the numbers that are not prime are basically your composite numbers, right? So the composite numbers are the numbers that are having more than two factors, or composite numbers are have more than two divisors. Okay. So in this case, if you look here, 6, so it has more than two factors. It has how many factors? 4 factors, right? So if any number that is having a 3 factors or 4 factors or 5 factors or so on greater than 2 factors, so that number is your composite number. So let's take an example of what number. Let's take any other number, which is, let's say, 9. So in this case, the factors or the multiples, what two numbers you multiply, you'll get 9. 1 times 9 is 9, then 3 times 3 is 9, and then 9 times 1 is 9. So see, if you look here, you'll getting the 3 factors, 1, 3 and 9. So in this case, we can say that 9 is not a prime number. 9 is a composite number, right? So 9 is a composite number. Composite number. So now here let's list a few prime numbers and few composite numbers. So prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7. 9 is not a prime number. 11, 13, 15 is not a prime number. 16, 17, then we have 19, then 20, 21 is not a prime number. 22 is not a prime number. 23, 27, not 27, 29, then we have 31 and so on, right? Then 37, then 41, then 43, and after that 47, and so on, right? Okay, coming to the now list few of the composite numbers that you should know. Composite numbers, and you can also verify them whether they are prime or not by using the strategy we have just studied. Now, what are the composite numbers? The composite numbers are starting it with 4, then we have 6, then we have 7, no, 8, 9, 10, 12, then we have 14, 15, 16, 17 is a prime number, 18, 19 is a prime number, 20 is a composite number, 22, even 21 is a composite number, 22, 24, 25, right? And so on and so forth. Even 26. Yes, so you can extend this series. Okay, now here one thing, if you look or pay attention, or I don't know if you have noticed or not, what about the number 1? See, prime number started with number 2, prime number started with number 2, and composite number started with number 4. What about the number 1? So 1 is a number that is neither prime nor composite, right? So it is neither prime number nor composite number, right? Because in prime we have studied that it must have two factors. So in 1 there is only one factor, which is 1, right? And that one is itself. So there is no distinguish between 1 which one is the number 1 and which one is the number itself. So it is not prime, and it is not composite because it is only having one factor. It is even not having two factors or more than two factors, right? And similar is the case with the number 0. Okay, so 0 is also not a prime number, not even a composite numbers. So I hope you got the concept. Here comes to an end of our lesson 2, and one more lesson to go, which is a lesson 3, covering the portion of concepts from, I guess, 13 to the last portion, which is 16. Okay, once again, thank you guys for staying with me and watching this video, and keep learning. See you in the next section. Till then, take care, stay blessed, and see you after. And here is a smile for you. Stay blessed. Bye bye.